I like to start small, work my way up, and if I need to be more aggressive later, well, I have the data that says this product works. It brings in a 30% profit margin. Let's go. What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about, is Amazon FBA right for you? What does it take? Who is this for? What are the pros and cons? What does it take financially? What does it take to put the work in to figure out if this business is right for you? It's important to figure this out because you don't want to start a business that you're not prepared for, that you aren't qualified for, that you don't actually want to do. If you don't want to do it, if it's something that's going to have a lot of resistance, then you're going to end up just quitting or not putting the work in or self-sabotaging yourself. So you need to figure out if this business is right for you before you get started. And real quick, before we get in the nitty-gritty detail, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you want to stay up to date on everything Amazon FBA related, entrepreneurship related, e-commerce related, so you can keep figuring out this equation if this business is right for you and what it actually takes so you can be well prepared and know what to expect. And for some of you new watchers out there, you're probably asking yourself, who is this guy? Why is he even qualified to tell me anything about Amazon FBA? Well, a little background story. 6 years, been doing Amazon FBA, had multiple businesses hit 6 and 7 figures. I've started over 50 plus private label products myself. So I say I have a little bit of experience, a lot of mistakes, a lot of wins. I've been through the whole ringer with $300,000 stuck at a port with goods. I've had $15,000 lost in my first products, all the way to having a $1.1 million month. So this is just based on my 6 years of experience, my ups and downs. I'm sure other people in the industry who've had success have a different story, have a different opinion, have a different light to shed on this, but this is just personally from my experience alone. And with that being said, the first thing I want to talk about is what does it take financially to start an Amazon FBA business? I'm sure you've heard a wide range of different responses to this, but in my opinion, it takes $3,000 to $10,000 to start your Amazon FBA business. This includes products, this includes getting your Amazon business started up, whether that's Seller Central, getting your LLC formed, eventually PPC, everything like this. Now, this is a wide range because it depends on what market you go after in the Amazon FBA space. Now, there's some markets it's going to take $20,000, $30,000, even up to $50,000 to start this product because you need to match their velocity. So when you're going into a more competitive market, you need more units, right? You need to move more product, and then you need more on advertising. Where I like the $3,000 to $10,000 range because we want to start small, build our skills up small, not go all in, not hoping for a lottery ticket. And when you go in these bigger competitive fields, they know what they're doing. So their skills are going to be a little bit more advanced than yours. I like to start around $3,000 to $10,000, go for products that's going to make $10,000 a month. Start there, start to see some profit come back, and then expand if you want to go into a deeper field, because then you have the skills and some money coming back to reinvest. Now the range from $3,000 to $10,000 just depends on the product field you take. You can start more on the frugal end of $3,000 to $5,000, somewhere in that range for something that does $5,000 to $10,000 a month, maybe a little lower and then builds up over time. See, I think Amazon's going to continue growing, so I don't mind dominating a field that's a little bit smaller and then letting Amazon do the work to bring in more customers, bring in more traffic, and then we're locked in that number one spot and we reap the benefits from that. On the 10,000 side, this is just a little bit more aggressive. Say the product's doing well, say it's in a little bigger market. Well, that second, third order may put you around that 10,000 mark. Maybe you're saying to yourself, Cameron, what if my product does well? Say I put 5, 6K in it. I need to double down on my product and my advertising. Well, if you prove the product works, there's always financing available to get your product up and running for the second, third round. Keep pushing it, things like that. But I advise against that until you know your product works, it's bringing in profit. There's a good expectation that this product is going to work for the long haul. I would avoid financing, which I think is an okay thing to do. Just make sure the product works before you double down on it. Okay, so I like to start small, work my way up, and if I need to be more aggressive later, well, I have the data that says this product works, it brings in a 30% profit margin. Let's go. Something else you have to be willing to do in this business is at least put in 1 to 2 hours per day. Okay, I know that's not a lot, but some of you guys have 9 to 5 jobs. This is your second business. You want to start slow. You have families at home. So if you can at least put 1 to 2 hours a day into this, so maybe after work, maybe you take a few days off during the work week and then you put a 4 to 6 hour, maybe 8 hour day on the weekends, I think that's totally fine. Of course, the more time you put in at first, the quicker you get results, because this business doesn't come overnight. This business takes at least 3 to 6 months to get off the ground and actually see some good results where you're like, hey, like we're moving here. So it's not for the faint-hearted that can't wait a little bit longer, have the patience, put the work in little by little to see the results come. Because we have to start our business, we have to get a business bank account, we have to get our Seller Central up and running, we have to do product research, then we have to talk to suppliers, get samples, then eventually launch this product, get it shipped internationally, start PPC. So your first sale, if you get that within 3 to 4 months, I think that's a huge win, especially in the private label field. I know there's different fields out there like wholesale, retail, arbitrage. If you want to start there, that's fine. I'm mainly on the boat that private label is the best way long-term because you're going to get bigger margins. You could build a brand where wholesale, retail, arbitrage, especially retail arbitrage, can just turn into another 9 to 5 where you're hunting down goods and on online stores. Doesn't mean it won't work. Doesn't mean you can't start there, but long-term, I like to build a private label brand where I can expand my product line, get off Amazon as well, and not be just, stuck with them if something goes wrong. Have my own website. This is long range down the road, 1 to 2 years later, but having that option also gives you the flexibility to maybe have someone buy you out of your business and get a huge multiple on that return if you have a full product line for a brand. So if you're willing to put in the work, maybe 1 to 2 hours a day, be patient, have that work ethic, be organized, be focused, then this business is probably right for you. If you're looking for a get rich quick scheme, this is definitely not for you. Okay, there's drop shipping. There's other businesses where if you're looking for a quick buck, that's probably a better route. This is more long-term. Build an asset, build something that's going to give you income for years to come, not just put in a little bit of work, see results, and then start all over. No, you put in the work, it's front loaded, and then you start to see the results, and it gets easier and easier and easier as you go, and it keeps building on top of itself. In this business, you also want to have the ability to learn, to self-learn, okay? Learn on your own, whether that's YouTube videos, you take a course, you're in a mentorship program. You need to be able to put the work in when it comes to learning too, right? I really believe that all the information you need is out there. Yes, it's scattered about. Yes, you hear different opinions. Yes, you hear talking heads just like mine all over the place saying different stuff. Maybe just find 1 or 2 people you really enjoy, you really like, you really trust, you think they're genuine, they're not flashing Lamborghinis and stacks of cash in front of your face, and just go with them, right? Because I think that makes it a little easier when it comes just to following someone's proven plan versus trying to piece together 16 different YouTubers' plans and put them all together. That could be a little confusing because they can conflict with each other and just make it harder for you. So if you have the ability to learn, study, be organized, have the ability to put the work in with the business and learning, then I think that's a good sign for you. And another thing you want for this business and making sure it's right for you, probably the most crucial thing is that you want to be able to learn from mistakes and not take them so personally. This is a business just like any other, so you're going to make mistakes, especially in Amazon. They seem to be worse than other places where your mistakes feel terrible because they're usually outside of your control, especially when it comes to Seller Central, Amazon support, things like that. Doesn't mean there's gonna be mistakes that aren't on you and you shouldn't take personal responsibility for them. Like for instance, I had my first 3 products, complete failures. I didn't know what I was looking for. I was just guessing and checking, throwing products to the wall, lost 15K. One of those products, I had a terrible supplier. I didn't know what I was doing. They're a trading company. They're just throwing these products together and literally they're crumbling in my customers' hands. And that was a big learning experience. 1-star reviews, 2-star reviews. It was over before that product even got really going just because of 1-star reviews flooded in. I had a silly trademark issue where I had $300,000 stuck at a port because I couldn't ship that to Amazon FBA warehouse. Again, that was on me. If I just would have talked to someone, learned, put the effort into figuring this thing out and talking to the right people, and just my ego got in the way. It was like, I can do this all myself. Then I would have got through that mistake a lot easier and I probably would have been in a lot better place. So that one's on me, right? That a lot of mistakes, these are all on me. Even the Seller Central mistakes, I think you should still put these on you because you need to learn how they operate. You need to learn how they respond to your inquiries or respond to gray areas in the business, okay? Even though it sucks using them, and yes, it should be a lot more streamlined, it's on you to figure out what they like, what they don't like, how to talk to them, everything like that. So if you can take personal responsibility, learn from your mistakes, grow from your mistakes, because guys, that's just business to begin with. Like that's business. And if you could do that, then you're in a much better place, and this business is probably for you. And finally, onto the tech side of things. Okay, do I need a good tech background to understand this business, do this business? In my opinion, you only need the tech experience if you can operate Google Chrome extensions and operate help support systems and things like that, and maybe some Google Sheets. That's all you need to know. And these things are easily learned. And if you don't know them, like, you should probably set off a little bell in your head and say, I need to know these skills anyways, because I need to be well organized. In any business I do, it's going to take a lot more than just, what it takes in the Amazon side of businesses. So if you can handle those things, you can handle Google Sheets, spreadsheets, you can handle support, you can handle downloading messenger apps, making accounts, things like that, then you're going to be totally fine. On top of this, you need a laptop or a desktop. You can't just do this by your phone. Maybe retail arbitrage a little bit, but I still think that's kind of dumb and naive, especially when you scale up. You're going to need a laptop or a desktop. So if you're looking for a business where you don't need that stuff, this probably isn't right for you. It's going to make it so much more difficult, and your learning curve will be harder. Your time to get up and going, making money, will be a lot longer. And all that time, someone else is doing it better than you, getting ahead of you. So you need to be ahead of that curve, have the same operating skills as everyone else, essentially. So if you can handle that, then the tech side of things should be a breeze for you. I know most of the younger generation, this is cake. This is just like another day on your phone or on your laptop. A little bit, if you're a little bit older, it's still not that hard. I think you should be learning new things anyways. And again, any business, especially in the internet space, you're gonna need to know how to use a laptop and spreadsheets, software, things like that, okay? So if you have the ability to have $3,000 to $10,000, if you can put in 1 to 2 hours a week, maybe some longer days on the weekends, sacrifice your drinking buddy days, sacrifice, a little time at night when you're watching Netflix, I think you'll be just fine. If you have the ability to learn from your mistakes, not take them so personally, yes, this is a learning curve. It was even for me. My ego was massive in this business. I just wouldn't bother anybody. I thought I could figure it out on my own. That was dumb. That stunted my growth by probably 2 to 3 years right there. So you have the ability to learn from your mistakes, not have a big ego, and move on from them, and then learn from others. I think you're going to be well set for this business, along with the tech stuff. If you can handle simple tech stuff, again, I think this is probably the lowest end tech stuff you need to know for any internet business out there, then you're gonna be just fine when it comes to Amazon FBA. Okay, so if you guys can check off most of those boxes, are willing to learn and adapt to some of those fields that you're gonna need for this Amazon business, then I think Amazon FBA is right for you, because I know a lot of people are weighing this in their own mind and determining, like, should I go all in on this? And yes, guys, I do believe that whether it's Amazon FBA or anything else you're picking, you should pick one. Master that skill. You can't be a master in anything, especially today, if you're dabbling in 3 to 4 different things. Again, from personal experience, I was trying to do drop shipping. I was trying to do a social media agency. I was trying to do Amazon FBA at the same time. Dumb. Okay, this stunts your growth. And when people are doing this full time, you're at a disadvantage, right? If someone's putting 40 to 60 hours a week into Amazon FBA business, when they get going, and you're putting in 10 in 3 different businesses, like, you're going to get slaughtered. Okay. So you should go all in one business and decide, and hopefully this video helps you determine if this business is right or wrong for you, but you should go and put your foot down essentially and go all in whatever you're trying to do, because it's going to take time. And if you dabble in something different every 3 months because you got shiny object syndrome, then you're just going to be at a disadvantage, right? So that takes discipline. It's really hard today because you're going to see an ad, you're going to see something else where it's like, I'm making $10,000 to $20,000 a month doing this vending machine thing or whatever, or cleaning lawns. So you need to figure out which one's best for you and then go all in on it, and then give yourself a year to go all in on this. Okay. A year's not that long. Okay. Panda Express owner, he's been doing it for 45 plus years. You wonder why it's so big. I'm sure the first 20 years was pretty rough for him, but after 40 plus years, he dominates that market for quick, Chinese American food, whatever. That's probably a poor example, but think of any industry where the big dogs are doing this their whole life. Their time span is much larger than everybody else's. And if you're playing the game longer than everybody else, you're going to win. I'm not saying do this for the rest of your life, but you at least have to put a year in to see if this is right for you, and go all in and build up those skills to actually see results. So if you're in this for 3 months, you're not seeing results like that, you haven't put enough time to even see what's going on. Okay. So hopefully this helps you get an idea if Amazon FBA business is right for you. If you want to learn more about Amazon FBA, learn all the steps, learn all the nitty-gritty details, make sure you guys subscribe down below. I make videos going in deep walkthrough videos on everything in this business, so you can hopefully follow along and get there much quicker, avoid my mistakes, because I've made a lot of mistakes. So hopefully it gets you there a lot quicker. You lose less money, you waste less time, and your business goes a lot smoother than it did for me when I first started. If you guys got any other questions, put them down in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.